Hey everybody, it's Scleroderma Smarter here. It is Saturday, the March 16th. It was really nice. We just went to dinner with a couple good friends of ours. It's really nice just to go out and, grab a bite and catch up with, I guess we hadn't seen them since September. But we just went to go get some L&L Hawaiian barbecue, and we sat there for a couple hours just talking. I don't have my glasses on because it's hard for me to see what I'm doing when they are on. So I just want to do a quick story here, a little story time. So in 2011, I was living in Prescott Valley, Arizona with Scott, and I wanted a bike. And it's a really nice place. It's like up in the mountains in Arizona, and we got the Four Seasons and stuff. So for weeks and weeks and weeks, we would go to yard sales and stuff, and I was always looking for a bike. Well, we found one. I think he might have found it like on Craigslist or something, and we went to this house, and I remember I was on the bike, and I was riding it around. It was a nice couple. And he bought me this bike. So I was so excited and stuff. Well, it was St. Patrick's Day. I believe it was during the week. And I got up early and I left him a note. Said, went for a ride, I'll be back. And I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day. I'm pretty sure I was wearing sweats, and I think I was wearing like a black Beatles t-shirt. And I jumped on my bike and I was riding around the neighborhood. And at one point I went down a hill, and I went going down this way. And then instead of going like up the hill, what I wanted to do, so I went down and then I made a turn. Well, when I made this turn, my back tire caught some gravel, because they throw gravel on the roads because it snows. My back tire caught some gravel. I guess I was going too fast. And as I took the turn, my tire did this. And all I remember was seeing the asphalt and being in pain. And then that was it. So they don't have sidewalks and curbs there. They have on the side, like here's the street, and then on the side they had these big ditches with pipes running through them, and then there's like little bridges you drive over to get to your property, and the pipes, and it's so that what they put all the snow, they push all the snow into these little ditches, and then it just melts and it just goes away. So all I remember was laying there, and I kind of opened up my eyes, and I remember my head hurt so bad. And I went like this to my head, and it was crunchy. And I was like, why is it wet and crunchy? And it hurts. And then I kind of opened up my eyes, and I realized I was in the fetal position in the ditch. And I was embarrassed. I was like, oh, shoot, I fell. Somebody saw me fall. So what I did was I kind of got up, rolled over, and I was pretending I was tying my shoe. My bike was on the side, and I remember seeing my sunglasses were in the street, and they were broken. So I stood up, and when I stood up, I couldn't feel, like my right leg was just in pain. It felt like it was dislocated. My hips hurt. Everything just hurt. So I remember I got my bike and I walked over to this other side. There was like a little ledge, little wall, and I sat on the wall, and I texted Scott, and I called him. I said, hey, can you come pick me up? I'm on Manly, and I don't remember the other street, but bring my van. And he's all, why? I said, just come and pick me up. So he came, and my back tire was bent. The spokes were all off. I was bleeding. I couldn't move my right arm. And I don't know how long I was laying in that ditch. Long enough so that to bleed, that it started to dry up a little bit. And the way I was in the ditch, you couldn't see me. all you would see was my bike lying there on the side, but you wouldn't be able to see me because I was so far down into this ditch. So Scott came and picked me up. I said, can you just take me to the hospital? And he did, and he walked me in, and I told him, no, you don't have to be here. Just go home. I'll call you when I need you. And because I didn't want him to see me. Believe it or not, I didn't want him to see me in the hospital. So he walked away, and I remember I was telling the male nurse, is he gone? And he goes, yeah, and I started crying. So they took me in, they did some x-rays. I had a massive concussion. I had dislocated my shoulder a little. And at the time, I didn't know, but I actually had broke 3 ribs. That's why it hurt to breathe. I don't remember. My hip was fine. It was just really, really bruised. So they monitored me for a while. I didn't need any stitches. I believe they did take x-rays and stuff. And then I called him to come pick me up, and they told him, just keep an eye on her because she did have a massive concussion. And went back home, and I remember lying in our guest room on the bed and trying to go to sleep and just vomiting from the concussion. It was just really, really bad. And I think that head trauma, this is just my theory, that head trauma has something to do with why I got sick. It was so bad that the doctor had to do this thing where they, tilt you sideways because all the little, they say crystals in my ears were all off, which was making me get vertigo, which is still a problem to today. If I lay down flat really quick, I kind of go, I feel like I just want to go to sleep, pass out. And I feel that, and Scott kind of feels it too, because it was right after that accident that we moved here to California in December of 2011. And within a year of that accident, I started to show signs of my skin signs. I was getting these big patches on my back. I was in a lot of pain still and stuff. It was funny. It wasn't until a couple of years later when they did more x-rays, and they said that, you broke 3 ribs here? I said, he goes, it looks like it was a long time ago. I said, oh, that must have been from the bicycle accident. I said, I know they said I broke a rib, but I didn't know I had broke 3 ribs. He goes, yeah, you have some good fracturing on these 3 ribs on the right. And my right hip always gives me problems and stuff. It was really bad. So tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, not the same date, but St. Patrick's Day, I always celebrate it as, not in a good way, but as the beginning to all my problems. So I don't know, they say stress and all that stuff. It triggers your immune system, and that's why some people get sick. But I kind of feel that, and I don't blame, and it's funny because Scott blames himself because he bought me the bike. But I think that major head trauma, and then right before that, I had my gallbladder out in November of 2010. Then I had the bike accident in March of 2011. And by 2012, I was already showing skin signs and stuff. So it's just my theory. Major head trauma, gallbladder surgery. I was going through a lot of emotional stuff at the time. That kind of all triggered my body as an immune response. I think this is my theory. This is mine. So, can you relate? Yeah. So I just wanted to come on here and tell you a story, and then it just kind of started my disease, path. So, yeah. Alrighty. If you have any questions, like I always say, go ahead and ask me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. It's all Scleroderma Smarter. And if you can you please follow and then hit the like button and hit the little bell so when you find out when I upload new videos here. And don't forget to be Scleroderma Smarter.